I truly believe that one of the most challenging things for us humans is learning how to surrender to the universe. Yet surrendering to the universe is less about us giving up control and more like, pressing the clutch in the car to really change gears and really allow us to accelerate even more, to go faster, to expand, to grow. And it's a little mindset shift that I think is very important to bear in mind. Because actually, surrendering to the universe, surrendering to whatever it is, surrendering to say, okay, I've tried this, it's not working out, and I've placed too much control, and I need to just take a minute. What it does for us is just resetting our settings. It helps us breathe. It lets the whole thing breathe. Whatever it is we're focused on, it could be a project, it could be just how our life is going, And I think one of the important things to also understand is that when we're surrendering to the universe, it can feel a little bit like we're surrendering to nothing. If we don't have a particular connection to the sort of energetic aspect of our living and the connection to the universe, if the spiritual connection is not strong, it feels we sort of like surrendering to nothing. But actually what we don't realize is we're surrendering to everything. We're surrendering to the higher intelligence that really has already a relationship with us. That's where it gets tricky for people. You see, if you have a sense of you living your life intentionally, or maybe connected to purpose, or if not purpose, just intentionally, and having some kind of sense of goals in your life, then your connection to the universe will be different to somebody who is not anchored in those things, who has zero connection or anchor to any intentionality. Yeah. And what tends to happen if you have zero connection to any intentionality in the way you live your life, surrendering to the universe feels a little bit like more of the same, of doing nothing, right? It doesn't feel like that kind of like merging with everything and allowing that divine intelligence to take over. And that's really important because it's kind of like, the masculine and feminine energies, right? That we hold that polarity and we connect with that polarity within us. We let the masculine hold the feminine. We let the feminine nurture the masculine. And it's kind of that similar relationship we have with the universe when it comes to connecting and surrendering ourselves to it. It's kind of like that's developing that connection and that trust for that to happen. And it's really just about us getting ourselves out of the way, letting that recalibration to happen, letting that reset happen so that we can flow again, we can bring a little bit more movement, and we can get ourselves out of the way, whatever that might be for you. And you know what? The other thing to say, I promise you, I've worked a lot with anxiety in my work, in my own self as I was growing, in many other ways. I used to teach that at an anxiety course when I worked in mental health at a local college in Crawley. And I can tell you that I think a lot of the times that the anxiety that builds up is because of a disconnection with a deeper divine intelligence, with the universe, and the role it can play in our lives, and feeling that we have to hold all the burdens by ourselves. That's what causes anxiety, what causes burning out. And I'm saying that as a single mother who found very challenging the transition into becoming self-employed because of that very thing. I didn't know what it was like to surrender. I didn't know the mechanics of that. I had to go about it. And that's now a really big part of the what I teach in the alignment space. I hold for a whole year for women. And it really is very important for the process of alignment and for us to kind of really unwind from the sort of trauma-based productivity and connect deeper with the truth and the needs of our own inner cycles and our energy on a deeper level outside of the matrix. And it takes a lot of courage, I'm not going to lie. That's why we do the energy work, and that's why we dive deep, because being able to surrender to the universe but also connecting to the divine intelligence is really, it's kind of like, it's a no-brainer when you realize how to build that connection and how to cultivate it. It makes no sense to live life from a place of not having the support, from choosing to live life having that support. So I felt like I wanted to share that. Please don't confuse surrendering to the universe as just letting go of your own control. It's a lot deeper than that. It's a lot more nuanced, it's a lot more dynamic, and it's a lot more supportive when you allow it to be. And I hope that it's something that you do.